Hello guys, I'm Joshua8600 and welcome back to trying the games on the Atari Arcade 2 cartridge here on the Evercade. Last time, we did the first three in order of release, Fire Truck, Berzerk, and then Maze Invaders. And I like them. They're fun. So next up, we are going to be doing the next four. So 3 last video, 4 this one, 3 in part 3. Next up is Moon War. Your refueling bases on the moon are under attack. Blast off and defeat 16 types of enemy, each with their own point value. Follow the directions on the screen to protect the refueling bases from attack. If you run low on fuel or shield energy, dock with the base to replenish your supplies. But do this sparingly, as each time you resupply, the enemy attacks will become more ferocious. After every 10th base, a mystery ship appears and will give you a bonus if destroyed. How long can you protect the moon from the relentless enemy onslaught? History. Moon War was part of a brief 80s trend where arcade games were promoted using images of female models posing with the machines. In Moon Wars' case, the promotional artwork featured a blonde girl in a cropped t-shirt and hot pants posing mildly provocatively with the caption, "The Ultimate Moonshot." The model's identity appears to have been lost to the mists of time, but the flyer remains somewhat infamous, particularly as video games have become much more inclusive over the years. Katie says, "Make good use of your shields. The enemies come thick and fast." Okay. Let's look at dip switches first. It's just the number of lives. Okay. So, controls. D-pad is to rotate your ship. A is to thrust. B is to fire. Okay, so kind of like Asteroids maybe? Or Gravatar. X is to hold shields. Y is hyper flip. I don't know what that means. But yes, this sounds a bit like Asteroids in terms of controlling and or shield with the teleportation and all that. So at least I have something to grasp upon my prior knowledge. But yes, let's start with Moon War. Interesting. Okay, so we have a credit in 3, 2, 1. Let's pickle! Player 1 up. Fuel base. Ah, but okay, so the moment you stop pressing, you stop moving, though. However, you do have a little bit of momentum. Full base 1 under attack. Okay. This is interesting so far. It's very hard to actually control yourself and aim properly. I wonder if this originally used some kind of like rotary controller. Maybe not, because it does look like it's only 8 directions. Maybe it's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's definitely 16 directions. Not just 8. Which is interesting. Now, what is this right here? Is this an enemy? Or is that something is that the base that I'm protecting? Oh, Jesus. Oh. I don't know what I am doing, not gonna lie. I feel like arcade games where you actually need to read the manual aren't really the best for arcade games. Because arcade games are supposed to be pick up and play, you know, easy to learn, hard to play. Like, easy to learn, hard to master, hard to get good at, but you can at least understand what you're supposed to do early on. Well, I guess maybe the exception are tournament fighters like Street Fighter or King of Fighters, that kind of thing. Which, by the way, King of Fighters 2000 will be on Neo Geo Arcade 1, but... So is this the thing I'm protecting? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, this is, not my favorite game. Not my favorite game. However, I do still get to enter my initials. What the? W, V, and then, what? How do I even enter my initials? Look at this. Look, J, and then immediately goes to Y, and then F and N. What? What? Move wheel to change letter. Press shields to store it. No, no. You dingus. Go to the no. Nah. There we go. So it says this is a wheel. It makes me think that this is in fact supposed to be a rotary controller because it said wheel, so something that you turn, so you could smoothly pick the letter that you want, and that's how you're meant to play this as well. So you're able to use precision turns, and that's why I don't like this on here. That's why it felt so weird because with the D-pad, it doesn't really do the same thing now, does it? Because it's at a fixed sensitivity, whereas a wheel you can do as little or as much as you want. So I am going to be moving on. I don't want to play that again. Hopefully, we get some kind of resolution to this because we know some games have analog controller support now. Like Glover, for example, on Pico 4. So maybe that can somehow translate to this. I don't know, but bleh. Sorry, Moonwar, you're actually kind of cool, but the controls on Evercade aren't very good because it is supposed to be rotary. Maybe not rotary, but maybe but analog controls. I think that's what they were originally called. Right, they were analog wheels. Kind of like some of the issues some of the games in Atari Arcade 1, right? Like the Breakout game or Warlords. They also use that. Anyway, Dark Planet from 1982. In Dark Planet, you take control of a lone starship attempting to destroy enemy forces mustering on the volcanic surface. Your mission unfolds across two distinct levels. On the green level, you're high above the planet's surface in the upper atmosphere, which allows you to fight in air-to-air combat against enemy ships and launch devastating laser attacks on the structures and vehicles below. Fly down on the conveyor tube towards the upper left of the screen, you can descend to the lower red level and attempt to destroy enemy buildings and bunkers. History. Dark Planet's original arcade cabinet used an unusual simulated 3D effect where the visuals were projected onto two distinct layers on top a physically modeled backdrop. In this Evercade version, you can distinguish the two layers by their colors. A green for high altitude and red for ground level. The original arcade version used blue for the upper layer. We have adjusted this to green for improved visibility on modern displays. Okay? Makes sense. Katie says, your lasers are best used while moving. Hold down the button and thrust for some devastating strafing runs. I don't know what any of that meant. So that's a good sign, isn't it? Okay, so what are the controls? D-pad rotates ship. A, thrust and start a two-player game. B is missile, attack same level, and start a one-player game. X is laser, attack lower level. Fascinating. Let's look at dip switches. Bonus occurrence, once or every. I don't know what that means. Lives, 3 or 5. Bonus live, 100,000 or 200,000. Okay, let's hit play. I don't know what bonus occurrence means. Alright, let's input a credit, then it wants me to press B for a one-player game. 3, 2, 1, let's pickle. Oh, wait. Yeah. Wait, Oh, these red things I cannot do anything with right now. It wants me to go... It said go to the tube in the upper left. Is that it? Ah! What? What is happening? The moment I come out of the thing, Thing is, like, it just immediately pops me in. There's no loading or anything. I have joined the Dark Planet Hall of Fame. How? I didn't do anything. Press laser. Which one's laser? This one also looks like it used a wheel. Well, maybe not, because if I type it very slightly... No. Hooray! 30,000. One above me is 30,000. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, let's quit and see if it saves, at least. Probably not, but... No, it did not save. Hmm. Something tells me this isn't working properly. This looks very odd. Like, what are these? No, go, please go in. I cannot. And then it immediately gets me, dude. How do I do this? Not display. I want the controls. I literally can't even aim. I cannot go in there. It says this is a laser. That's not a laser. It looks like it's some kind of trail behind me, but it doesn't shoot. So look at that. What? It looks like there's some kind of barrier here? I don't like this one at all. We're moving on. I'm sorry, Dark Planet. I don't like it. Frenzy! The sequel to Berzerk. The humanoid must not escape. Again! Frenzy is the follow-up to Berzerk and adds a number of new gameplay elements to the basic blast and escape format. Purple, dotty walls can be destroyed to open up new passageways, while solid white walls will reflect shots from both you and the killer robots. You will also encounter special room types, including Mama Otto's lair, the power factory, the computer room, and the robot factory, each of which has their own special rules to contend with. How long can you survive? History. Although Frenzy is commonly agreed to be just as solid a game as Berzerk, it didn't get as wide a home release as its predecessor did. While Berzerk had an immensely popular Atari 2600 port, the only official home version of Frenzy prior to this Evercade release was for the underappreciated and oft-overlooked ColecoVision platform. They were actually able to mention the name ColecoVision? Shocking, actually. There was also a strictly unofficial and unlicensed port to a popular British microcomputer, but in execution this was closer to the original Berzerk than Frenzy. Interesting, but they couldn't name that. Could that be the ZX Spectrum? I don't know. Katie said, because I know the ZX Spectrum was pretty popular, right? Katie says, Mama Otto doesn't like it when you shoot her kids. Aim carefully when you're in her lair. I bet she wouldn't like it when you shoot her kids. Okay, D-pad, move humanoid, B, hold plus D-pad, fire, makes sense, and so it's the same controls. Let's look at dip switches. Bonus life, there's... Okay. Language, English, okay, so it's just those. Atari, Frenzy, 1 credit, 3, 2, 1, let's pickle. Oh, the happy face is already here. But it's less fast as it was originally. Yeah, that reflects. Interesting. Come on. Hey, die. Thank you. Robot attack. Oh, at least I got the bonus for killing everyone before I died. Oh, okay. Robot attack. Okay. The humanoid definitely isn't escaping right now. That's all I know. He just killed himself by shooting into the white wall. That's funny. Oh, gee, look at all these enemies. And I'm instantly dead. Wow, dude. I am so bad at these games. Okay, I am fourth place on the leaderboard. Now let's just see if it saved the leaderboard. It probably did, because it did for Berzerk. I'm assuming it will for Frenzy. But we'll see. My phone is making sounds. Shaky phone, as it used to be called. Once upon a time. Lots more enemies in these rooms than before. Than in the first game. Robot attack. Aha! Did you see how that one was following, like, mirroring my movements? I was able to move left, shoot, move right, and steer it into it. Look, they're killing each other as well. Okay. Run away from the happy face. Oh, jeez. Robot attack. I'm screwed. That's all I'm hearing. Alright, I lost it. No, I thought that was my last life. What is that noise? I don't know. The humanoid must not destroy the robot. The humanoid must not destroy the robot. Now I'm dead. I'm still. How am I still not dead? How? How am I getting points? I'm not doing anything. Is this busted? Or is it because things are getting destroyed and they count towards my total even if I'm not doing it? There we go. Okay. Okay, and I did save my earlier high score, which is now 5th place. But yes. So cool. The leaderboards do work, or the high scores do work in this game, which is cool. Okay, Frenzy. That was a Frenzy. Only spent like 5 minutes on that game, but you know, these are with Atari games. I'm not going to spend 10 to 15 minutes on them just because they are just shorter experiences because they are early arcade games. So I feel like it's acceptable to already move on to the last game for this video, Lost Tomb. So, yes, you've landed on top of a mysterious pyramid deep in the Amazon, and it's time to fill your pockets with treasure. Unfortunately, the chambers within the pyramid are filled with all sorts of horrible nasties eager to keep you in this lost tomb forever. Proceed through each room, collecting treasures and destroying enemies along the way. Between each room, move quickly to avoid the vampire bats pursuing you and head for the next challenge. Survive as long as you can and attempt to make it to the pyramid's base, where a big surprise is waiting for you. History. Lost Tomb was an early arcade title to be released as a conversion kit, allowing arcade operators to keep existing cabinets for games that had declined in popularity, and simply swap out components such as the internal circuit boards, control panel, and marquee art. This was a very cost-effective approach that allowed operators to refresh their game selection without having to spend large amounts of money, time, and effort on disposing of old cabinets. Katie says, the game isn't kidding when it presents a special offer on whips mid-game. The game isn't kidding when it presents special... Pop in another credit and you can stock up. In the arcades, that would have cost you another coin. Oh! Microtransactions! Oh, I just love microtransactions. After all, on Technos Arcade 1, Double Dragon 3, the Rosetta Stone or Sacred Stone? Which one was the arcade? Which one's the NES one? I'm pretty sure arcade was actually Sacred Stone. And Double Dragon 3 Arcade, that also had microtransactions at the beginning of the game. Just pop in more things, you can get more things, so make it rain! Okay. Last Doom. This also sounds, speaking of Technos Arcade 1, this song sounds very similar to Mysterious Stones, actually. Those are good dip switches. Lives, free play, or invulnerability cheat. Oh, okay. So not a lot of dip switches for this game. If it didn't originally have them, they can't just make them. They implemented the ones that originally existed. So, D-pad. D-pad is move, but A, fire down, B right, X left, Y up. Oh, so this is like Xenocrisis controls. Fascinating. I didn't expect that. R1 is whip. What does the whip do again? For C3, I saw something about whip. The game is... Oh, that's all. We'll figure it out. You know, this one sounds very fascinating, so... Very interesting game. This is your map. Chests reset the time. When time runs out, the walls will fire. Step on the... I can't read all this. It goes too fast. To exit rooms with no open door, find the key chest. By the way, the name of this game is Lost Tomb. Watch for special sales. Programmed by Dan Lee. And there's the high score. Whoa, that was a loud credit sound. 3, 2, 1, let's pickle. You have just landed in the pyramid deep in the Amazon. Lock and load, mate. I am not your mate. You are entering. Keys chest, open closed doors. Get the chest and watch for the nasties. Grab what you can and it's okay. And it's... I was pausing the game to try to read everything. And I still couldn't read it in time. Oh, I only have a limited amount of bullets, maybe? Player 1 up. The blinking room indicates your present location. This indicates a stair... This game looks really hard. What? Oh, okay, so I just opened some kind of coffin or thing. Plan your route by this map. Go for a door. I'm very confused right now, everybody. Okay, and if you hold both directions at once, it kind of shoots diagonally. Again, kind of like Xenocrisis. There's just so many things here on screen. Like, how do I manage it? Like, look at all these things. Oh my god, game over. Not surprised, but oh my. If you wish to continue playing this level, insert a coin and then press player 1 to start button. Time to reset. 0. Bye bye. This is your map, and then it with a happy face with V's. This game is very odd. I am afraid if this ever becomes Katie's challenge, because this is difficult. You are entering. V, 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 V. Go for a door. Oh, am I in the same room again? Did I do something wrong? No, I don't think. I think it. I don't know if it is random. Well, it might be slightly, but it looks like the exact same room layout. Even the key's in the same spot. Hey. Okay, whatever. Hey. Oh God. What? How is anyone supposed to avoid this? This is so tough. Okay, I like the first games in this like the first 3 games a lot more than the second part. I already got a game over. Bye bye. Okay, Lost Tomb. You are a game. That is very confusing. Free play might be the best thing to learn how this game works, because I get basically it's infinite lives, so I wouldn't have to keep, putting in credits and restarting and all that. So I could just learn how the game works. So that free play might be a thing that I do for this particular game. Okay, in conclusion for this part, Moon War seems to actually have potential, but the lack of the analog wheel kind of ruins it. Dark Planet, to be honest, I don't understand it, and yeah, that's bad. I don't understand it, and I kind of don't want to understand it at this very moment. Frenzy is Berzerk, but better. I guess. I don't know about but better necessarily, but it's the sequel. It's the same but different, and it's also good because the original Berserk was good. So hooray! Lost Tomb intrigues me. It confuses me. I want to understand how this game works, and why is that last save button blue randomly? That was weird. And I think free play will help me understand it more. So yeah, really, it was just Moon War and Dark Planet that were the lows so far of this cartridge, but the biggest low is definitely Dark Planet. Moon War is at least playable. It's just not fun to play because of the controls. So yeah, that's it for part 2 of Atari Arcade 2. Next part will be these last 3 games, and yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't reset the timer, so this whole time that was still counting up. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Over last time, I'm Josh600. I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch, or can watch this stuff live. And yeah, okay, goodbye. Thanks for watching.